Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Penguin Panel portion of the Jambar Sports Extra. I'm John Ostapowicz, alongside my colleagues Will Anderson and Scott Tanner. From winning conference championships to taking on some of the best teams in the NCAA, what a week it has been for Youngstown State University sports, more specifically the YSU football team, as they gave the #1 team in the Missouri Valley Football Conference a scare, but sadly fell short. Jambar's own Keon Eddington takes us into the Fargo Dome.
The Penguins trotted into Fargo, North Dakota, and fell to the #1 ranked North Dakota State Bison, 38-30, ending a 2-game winning streak in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Junior quarterback Brum Brungard once again led the way for the Penguins, throwing for 2 touchdowns and rushing for another, with a total of 253 yards combined. YSU football head coach Doug Phillips said the team beat themselves.
You know, when you play in North Dakota State on the road in the Fargo Dome, you can't beat yourself. And, you know, when you make that mistakes, you got to respond too.
The Guns got out to an early 3-0 lead, but the Bison quickly responded and never looked back. Costly turnovers was to the Penguins' detriment. As Phillips says, they need to improve and convert on downs.
You know, offensively, we had an opportunity twice to go down and score and try to tie the game, and we didn't get that. So those are the areas we got to continue to grow, continue to get better.
The Guns fall to 5-4 on the season as they stagnate at 7th place in the conference standings. The Penguins return home Saturday against Southern Illinois. For Jambar TV, I'm Keon Eddington.
With the playoffs just a few weeks away and Selection Sunday on November 23rd at noon on ESPNU, Youngstown State has a lot of work to do. As far as the analysts are concerned and the analytics, they have to win the next 3 games. Will and Scott, what have you guys seen from this team and what they have to do in order to be successful to make that bracket and have a spot in the FCS championship and tournament for the first time since 2023?
Well, something to really take away to make sure that we are better going forward is that we have to take care of our mental game. What's really hurting us is those turnovers. They hurt us the most last week. We had a game where we could have won that. Most of the time, we were down by 5. Turnovers got us.
Yeah, it's a game you were projected to kind of get beat bad in by the #1 team in the FCS. And you held it close the whole game. You honestly beat yourself with those turnovers and just mental lapses, like you said. And something that's definitely going to be on their mental as the season comes to a close is a game in a dome. John, I know you love this stat.
Yeah, Will, I know we talk about it almost every single time we're here on the Penguin Panel, but they haven't won in a dome since October 23rd, 1999. That is almost 27 years of defeat in the domes, and that's in the Fargo Dome as well as Southern Illinois, UNI, and South Dakota State having really bad success. I know a lot of people talk about how it's different. The noise is louder, the fans get more involved, even the heat is different. It's a little bit more hotter. So if you're a Penguin fan, you get a little bit nervous because your season is riding on that game. I know for the FCS playoffs and the selection committee, I've seen a lot of different scenarios. Youngstown State could either have to travel to Beaumont to play Lamar, or they can have a home playoff game here in Youngstown, Ohio. It all depends what that committee talks about. Now, especially one of the other teams in the Horizon League, we shift from the MVFC to the Horizon League, that did very well. Will, would you like to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, so men's and women's cross-country team had a fantastic weekend, and Jambar Sports reporter Marissa Masano has more.
For the first time in program history, the Youngstown State University men's and women's cross-country teams swept the team titles at the Horizon League Championships. On November 1st, both teams traveled to the Mastodon cross-country course to compete for team and individual titles. The men claimed their 4th consecutive Horizon League crown, while the women earned their 2nd Horizon League championship in program history. Head coach Brian Gorby praised his teams after their championship efforts.
We're just so happy. Men are 4-time champs, something that's never happened before. So again, pretty much we won 3 back in the 90s, but like I said, this program just keeps going, elevating to another level, and these kids came through today, and we're going to celebrate every minute of this for the next at least 24 to 48 hours.
Individually, redshirt freshman and Horizon League Men's Freshman of the Year Patrick Burgos led the men with a fourth-place finish. Redshirt junior Blaze Fitcher placed sixth to earn a place on the All-League first team. On the women's side, junior McKinley Fielding became the second Penguin in women's program history to win the individual title. Fielding was also named to the All-Horizon League first team. For Fielding, all of the team's work has led to this moment.
We've put in so much work, so many summer miles. This team has grown crazy. Callie and Jenna are about where I was last year, so if that says anything, we've made a 30 seconds gap, all of us, all around. The freshmen really stepped up. I'm just so lucky to have them as teammates, and I love them all so much.
The Penguins' postseason will continue on November 14th at the NCAA Great Lakes Regional Championships at Angel Mound's cross-country course in Indiana. For Jambar TV, I'm Marissa Masano.
Yeah, so for the men they were able to win their fourth consecutive, as we heard. They now join Notre Dame and Butler as the only two in conference history to win 4 more straight. And then Gorby was able to win his third Coach of the Year. Women won their first title. Both of those, the last time that happened was 2014. So a little bit of a resurgence for the women's cross-country team. And looking ahead, they have regionals coming up soon. And for the future as well, how do you guys think these cross-country teams will be able to compete in the future?
Well, speaking on the future, we're definitely the team to beat. The other teams in our conference want to beat us. We just got to keep our head down and continue going forward and moving on.
Well, it's going to be a little tough for YSU when you have Bo Gorby at the helm of your program. He has been phenomenal, whether it be track and field or cross country. A lot of the Horizon League schools have been unable to touch him in any category. And it all starts with some of the athletes that we have when you look at, as well as especially McKinley Fielding, when you look at Blaze Fitcher, all of those runners are back for next year. So when you look at it on paper, we are primed and ready to repeat, which again, we know how dominant the men's side has been. For the women's to repeat, that would be a program first to them to repeat, which again, when you have the makings for it, look out for them. I know one runner, that comes out to me and stands out is Cecilia Chase. Now that she's going to enter her junior season, did not start this year because of an injury, but in 2024, she was top 100 as a freshman. When you look at her next year, watch what she's able to do. Well, but of course, we will be right back here on the Penguin panel with more when we return right here on the Jambar Sports Extra.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Welcome back. Shooting our way into our next story. Zach Flesh has more.
YSU women's basketball opened its 2025-26 season in style, dominating Teal College 104-33 in front of more than 2,000 local students during the 12th annual School Day Kids game. The Penguins' 104 points marked their largest scoring game since 1998 and the 8th highest total in program history. Their 71-point margin of victory was the third largest in school history. Senior Casey Santoro and junior Paulina Hernandez led the team with 14 points each, while redshirt freshman Danielle Cameron added 12 points in her first full game back from injury. Redshirt senior Faith Birch recorded a double-double with 11 points and a game-high 14 rebounds, while redshirt freshman Ashlyn Van Tassel also scored her first collegiate points early in the fourth quarter. All 12 Penguins got in on the scoring action, and 10 Penguins recorded at least one steal. YSU totaled 23 steals, their most since 1998. The Penguins shot 52% from the field and 40% from three-point range, making 10 of 25 attempts. They also dominated the boards 57-21 and recorded 23 assists on 38 field goals. Following the win, YSU hits the road for back-to-back games against North Dakota on November 7th and Michigan State to take on the Spartans on November 12th.
I mean, what an offensive onslaught right here. We had a great start to this season. What are some takeaways that you guys seen, if there is any?
Yeah, so for the women, they were bottom half in the Horizon League last year in offense. So coming out and being able to score almost at will here in this first game, it's encouraging for a team that definitely wants to compete and win the Horizon League. They've got some tough matches coming up on the road against North Dakota and Michigan State. Those are going to be real tests to see if they can compete. But I think they can, based off just this one game. If their offense can continue firing as it did, they're primed to make a run.
Well, over the offseason, head coach Melissa Jackson, she stressed that this team needed to get better on offense. Last year, they only shot 28.3% from the field as a team. That is one of the worst offenses in the Horizon League, especially when you're going up against teams such as Cleveland State, Green Bay, Purdue, Fort Wayne, who are some of the best teams in the nation in that regards for women's basketball. And it's all about the defense. We know they have a top 5 defense. They were like that last year. It shows you only holding this team below 40 points. Again, granted, they are a D3 squad from the pack, but even then, they are still a women's college basketball program that likes to compete. But again, transfers are key. Casey Santoro and Paulina Hernandez, they combined for 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and as well as a couple other stat lines. Talk about getting some great players from that NCAA transfer portal. But of course, we want to highlight another basketball team who took it to the wire. But of course, it was a tough start for that 2025-26 campaign as the Youngstown State University men's basketball season started with a loss to the University of Pittsburgh on November 3rd. Of course, I have more on this story. Even with the victory in a scrimmage match against the University of Akron, the momentum shifted away from the Penguins with a 74-59 loss to the Panthers at the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Penguins started hot in their season opener as they led 14-6 at the 14:31-minute mark of the first half. The Panthers were able to take their first lead of the night, 20-19, with the help of senior Cameron Corrin. Corrin led the game with a match high of 23 points and 12 rebounds for his first double-double of the season. Senior Chris Carroll recorded 18 points on 7 of 12 from the field to go along with 3 three-pointers, while red shirt senior Jason Nelson added 15 points and went 5 of 9. After the game, head coach Ethan Faulkner said despite the team's miscues in offensive rebounding, it performed well against a stronger and more physical Panthers team.
Our team will learn from this. I like our team. I think we got a chance to be a pretty good team, but we've got things we got to get cleaned up and get better at, and we'll do that as we progress throughout the year.
The program's transfers played a crucial role in the game. 6-year senior Cam Pollock, who transferred in from California University, Pennsylvania, and a redshirt junior Rich Rolfe, who transferred in from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, combined for 15 points and 7 rebounds. Pollock said it was a cool experience to return home and have the opportunity to play at the Division I level.
It was cool. It really was. There's a lot of people still here waiting for me, but it was a good experience, especially coming from Division II up to this.
Youngstown State is back in action against Grand Canyon University at 9 p.m. November 7th, with the game broadcasting on the Mountain West Sports Network and 570 WKBN. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm John Ostapowicz. My goodness, how about getting more out of your returners, especially with Jason Nelson and Chris Carroll combining for 33 points and 7 rebounds. But I know the hype here at Youngstown State University is that player known as Vlad Salaridze. He was out for that game. When you look for Grand Canyon, he will be back in that contest. Guys, what have you seen from this team just against Pitt? They have a very tough schedule. St. Bonaventure, Grand Canyon as well, and then they'll be back home just to play Penn State Shenango. What do you guys not only anticipate to see, but what do you see on paper?
Well, looking at it on paper, just the thing that springs out immediately from the losses, you got out-rebounded by almost 20, over 20 rebounds. You can't win games with a rebound differential such as that. And for a team that was in the Horizon League Conference Finals last year, you're hoping to get back there and even win, get into March Madness. You're going to have to figure something out on that end if you do want to achieve those lofty goals.
And hopping off that, I know I'm only judging this off of one game, but I'm going to be a little bit of a nitpicker. One of the things that I definitely saw was that once we got down, we started shooting threes. We shot 33 and we only made 10. That's 30.3% from the field. That's not what you really want to see. You want to make sure that you get inside of the paint, but it seemed that, I know that we were talking about this earlier, Pitt's coach understood that going into it, that they were going to shoot the lights out when they're down, when they're nervous. That's not what you want to do.
Well, Scott, you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, that's exactly what Pitt's head coach did. He looked at the stat sheet from that win against the University of Akron and said, hey, if you're going to go ahead and shoot it, we're going to go ahead and mop the floor perimeter, on the perimeter defense. And that's exactly what they did. They locked him up, and YSU was taking a lot of forceful shots. Now, again, they did not have Vlad Salaridze, and the rumor is that he is the facilitator. He's the guy you get it down to on the floor. That bails out Jason Nelson and Chris Carroll. Therefore, you can allow your guys to work inside. Now, last year, Youngstown State had one of the best zone defenses as well as one of the best offenses who can go inside the paint. A lot of that was because of Gabe Dines. He would stand there, a lot of great pick and rolls for him. Now that we've seen what he's been able to do at the University of Southern California, only 2 rebounds in his first game, makes you wonder, imagine if he was still here at Youngstown State University. But, of course, before we leave, guys, what have you seen from some of these Horizon League teams? I know especially IU Indy took it to the wire. Do you think Youngstown State has an opportunity to win the Horizon League this year in men's basketball?
As long as they get it down in the brain, they'll be fine. I know I say it a lot, but that is one key detail.
Yeah, it's going to be a different look for the Horizon League. RMU lost a couple players as well, just transfers all over the conference. So it's going to be a little different for all the teams. But I think if they can find their identity, find their facilitators, find their scorers, and continue being as good as they were on defense last year, I think they can make it back to the finals.
Well, Will, as they say, it's all about team. Together, everyone achieves more. And here today, we were working in unison, of course. We'll be right back here on the Penguin panel at Jambar Sports Extra within 2 weeks. Of course, stay safe, Penguins.
Support for Jambar TV is provided in part by the YSU Foundation and the Jane F. Lamb Charitable Foundation. Thank you.